Yes, sir. Oh, you guys definitely, yeah, you guys will be there on Wednesday. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.
100%.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
see
be
you
there.
Wednesday night.
What kind of
All right,
question is that, man?
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
come to
Oh, sorry. I
understand.
got something
We're
to do
there
on
every
Wednesday
game.
night. I won't be able to make it.
Yeah.
Be
Oh
there,
man,
rain or
yes.
shine. You'll never have to ask that question again.
Okay, okay.
Welcome, people, coast to coast, all you millions of fans out there of the Bushman. We know there's millions, soon to be billions. How you doing today? It's June 9th, 2025, and we got a special Bush Banter episode for you guys. So before we get started, my name's G Hill, soon to be Papa Bush, expecting that kid in November. Let's go. I'll pass it over to my bro, Elliot, the Nordic Bush with the auburn hair, looking very Viking. Are you in the house?
I'm in the house. I'm excited for today. It's going to be a great banter. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Then we got Ray, the Brazilian Bush. He got a haircut. He cut that mullet off. How are you doing? Are you in the house?
I am excellent. Dad Bush is on the coffee tonight. Got the two kids just wiling out upstairs. So I'm trying to hold it down. But I
Well,
am
we
in
give
the
you a
house.
little, we give
I
you a
got a
little
little bit of a
preview
raspy
here.
voice after a hot Sunday game yesterday, but we're getting through it. We're
We're
getting
getting
through
through it. We're getting through it. Well, we're getting through it with a special guest here. This man hails from Toronto, Ontario. He's a 5-year IVL veteran, the pride of the Humber Hawks. This guy also was 2021 OCAA Player of the Year. We bring to you Dennis Deebo Debanning. I don't know if Deebo is
Yeah.
your nickname. I just made it up, but I love it. How are you doing, brother? Are you in the house?
Yo, I'm doing good. It feels amazing to be on this podcast. I appreciate you guys for having me. So actually that nickname Deebo, I started to hear it from Jordan. Jordan Casaldo started to call me that as soon as I entered the group chat in the WhatsApp group. So but now I'm happy to be here,
There we
guys.
go. It's
I love it.
sticking.
Let's get it. Let's
I
get it.
love it.
Let's do
Well,
this, man.
on the Deebo nickname, obviously that ties back to one of my favorite movies of all time,
You already know Friday.
So, so
Yeah.
going to Deebo, I actually wrote this down. Tell me what describes you the best, being now that you are obviously Deebo. So your hulking frame, your cross-eyedness, your affinity for creaky bikes, or your propensity to rob people. Now, robbing people can be the pitcher's souls when you take him deep, but which of those four attributes best describes you, Deebo?
Damn, I'll probably say the eye thing. I think that was the second one you said. Probably
Yeah.
described me the most for sure.
The googly eyes, the googly eyes. Well, how you been,
Yeah.
brother? Like we said, welcome to Toronto Maple Leafs. We've definitely seen you over the years. How
Yeah.
we typically get into it is obviously, maybe a little bit about yourself for the people who are out there. Tell us a little about yourself. You grew up in Toronto. I do know, Ray, you saw a great, almost like a Players Tribune style article that Dennis wrote on behalf of himself. I don't know, Ray, was there things you picked up from there, or we can just kind of kick it over to Dennis? Tell us a little bit about himself, where he grew up, and kind of how he, developed the joy for baseball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, I was just gonna lead in with that. Like I had a quick read of it, and it was just like just a true like passionate tale of just like coming up Toronto Parks, playing 18 years for the team, and just like having that love and passion for the game. So like that's that's where we would lead off for sure. I want to hear
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, for sure. Hey Ray, first thing I want to say, I love the retro Leafs jersey, man. It looks
Yeah.
looks real good.
I got the
Yeah,
retro
I
gray
love that.
back here,
I
Hey,
got
you
dude.
got
mine in
that
the
too, man. I
closet.
like that. I
Yeah.
like
The
that.
thick,
Yeah.
itchy polyester. I don't know how.
Hey man, if we could, I'd rock that today. I think it'd
Oh,
be
legit, legit.
yeah. But hey man, I just looking back on my journey, damn, just to look back at it, it's a pretty wild one, man. So I grew up in Toronto, like you guys know. I grew up in the inner city community called Jane and Finch. Um, as you know, like it's all I can say is baseball saved my life for sure.
Yeah.
My mom put me in it when I was I want to say 5, just to like do extracurricular activities, make some friends. But man, as soon as I picked up the ball and my first bat purchase she bought from me at Toys R Us, one of those like machines where like it pops up the ball and you just hit it.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember she would put it out there behind my building, and then that's where like my first rep started, and then she threw me in like a house league called Toronto Playgrounds, which as you know, that's where kind of you see the young kids in the other diamonds play where we play. So I was one of those kids to start out with. Um but yeah, man, it's a crazy journey. Like it's a lot to just like say like all at once.
Yeah.
But I started with T-ball, and then I think my first rep team was when I was around 11 years old. My mom, saw the passion I had for it, and she's like, "Hey, I used to watch the rep kids play." I'm like, "Damn, those guys got nice jerseys." Like, I'm like, "Those guys got nice jerseys." I'm used to like the house league. Everyone wears the same hat on every team, kind
Yeah.
of, so
The
she ended up
t-shirts,
the
the t-shirts with
t-shirts,
the prints
yeah.
on it. Yeah,
Yeah. So my mom did what she could to help me get on that team, and I think one of my first rep coaches, David Monk, which is pretty cool. His family came out to see a couple of games so far this season at the pits,
That's
which
amazing.
which also throws it back. But yeah, he was my first Double A Toronto Playgrounds team, and then a couple years later, I played for West Toronto in that organization. Up until I was 18, mentored by coaches like David Quattro. Man, that guy definitely a good coach for sure. Him, Raf Kadori as well. A bunch of guys, man, I can throw out there. But then after I turned 18, I was like, what's next? You know what I mean? I was like, I never had the guidance for someone to tell me, hey, like this is the next step. This is you gotta go to college, you gotta do this. So I was just gonna go to Humber to be a plumber, and then one of my homies was going to the school called Erie Community College. He talked to me, he said, hey man, like, you're good, you should excel your talents more. And I said, I want to give it a shot. So I remember that summer I had a tournament up in New York, in Buffalo. It's called the New Era Tournament. And I reached out to the coach. I said, hey, like, I'm going down there with my team. And he said, I'm gonna come out and watch you. So I remember it was pretty cool. I remember going like 3 for 4 with like 2 bombs. And then after the game, having that coach talk to me, and then having other coaches in like New York talk to me. And I was like, damn, I never like ever got this type of recognition.
Nice.
So but anyways, like I joined my boy at Erie. It was tough because it was like a D3 JUCO, so like you don't really get scholarship money. So I
yeah.
remember just going out there, single mom. My mom didn't. I don't like. It's looking back. I had to like grab money from OSAP, which only was able to pay for 1 semester,
Yeah.
and it was pretty tough. It was a good experience, you know what I mean? I went through some personal stuff just before. I remember spring training in Florida that year. My mom's got sick, so I had to come back home, and I couldn't go back because I had no support. But
Yeah.
I always told myself, I'm gonna work 1 year, um, figure it out, and then see if I can get back out there. So that summer when I came back, I joined Hyde Park Junior. Shout out like all my Hyde Park boys, Matt McDonald, Mike Chiquetto, who's on our team, who I play with.
Shit. There you go.
Zach Lampreia, you already know what it
Was
is.
he a string bean back then?
Sorry?
Was
It's
Chiquetto a
Chiquetto.
string bean back then?
Oh, for sure he was, man. Nah, that's my guy. Me and him actually go way back to we played together since we were like 15. So
Nice.
Oh
like
no way.
like I said, like coming to the Leafs, man, like full circle, man. And then just to continue off, like
Yeah.
I remember playing for them my first year at Hyde Park. I won like MVP of the league. I had like over 400, and kind of just telling myself, yo, if I go back to the States, like I'm gonna do something. But I never had the opportunity to do that. So, I talked to my mom. She said, yo, why don't you just go to Humber? It's like close to our house. So then I
Yeah,
heard
I went. I
they
went
had a
there. I was a Humber Hawk, man. I was at that
yeah, you
North
already know.
Campus.
Yeah, I
Oh,
get to hang out with
about
Elliot.
Yeah,
Son,
shout
I
out the
want you to go
Humber
to
Hawks. I
school,
love
son.
that,
I want you to go to
man.
Hawk,
school.
yeah,
Hang
we out
Elliot.
here, dude.
But hey, man, I had a fantastic career in Humber. Met a
You
lot of
did.
Dude,
people.
you crushed. You
Yeah,
crushed at the Hawks.
Hey man, just to put it out there, I'm definitely gonna shout him out. Shout out Justin Mara. You know what I mean? I played with Mara a couple years when he was a Humber Hawk, and we won like provincials, we won nationals, and it's pretty cool to be teammates again for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So but yeah, Humber led me to other opportunities. Like I remember, I guess I had that really great year, which led opportunities to like play for the Welland Jackfish at the time after COVID, and then I wanted to take my talents elsewhere, like like play in the Wimble League. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. It's like the Western Canadian Baseball League
Yeah, yeah,
out west.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I was able to get out to Fort McMurray. I didn't even know what Fort McMurray was.
The guy from
You know,
Jane and
Bunch of
Finch
guys
up in
driving
Fort
around in
Mac.
jacked
I
up,
could go
yeah,
to-
yeah. So it's
jacked up pickup trucks.
Yeah, a
yeah.
little
So
different. A little
definitely,
different up there.
definitely some different type of scene that I'm used to for sure.
Before or
I
after
remember
it
my billet
complete-
family. I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I remember my billet family. What the first week I got there, like, yo, let's go shoot some guns, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Let's go shoot some guns. So we went to the firing range. There, so my billet host, they had like two kids. One was Zach, Zach, and the other guy named Lucas. They were like 7 or 8, man. These guys were assembling their gun kit, like.
Oh.
I'm like, damn, that's crazy. We don't do that up here. So, but no, it was cool, man. I started to, what do you call it, excel out there. And then I remember that season ends around, I want to say end of July. And then Hamilton reached out to me to play for the playoffs. That was the same year where Dalton was on Guelph, Dalton Pompey.
Yeah.
Then, you know, I came play for Hamilton. We knocked them on the first round. It was,
Yeah, that was
crazy.
We love that. That was huge. We love that.
I remember everyone was expecting us to lose, and then we were playing with grit that year. I remember.
Yeah,
and then sorry, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say, yeah, I remember watching a bunch of those games, and it was just like your pitching was just keeping you in the game, and then you get that key hit.
That key hit, yes, that one. Shout out, Jose. What was his name, man? Jose Fernandez. I guess he used to play for the Blue Jays, hard throwing lefty.
Yeah.
I remember playing outfield right behind. I've never seen a big leaguer throw the ball like the way he did.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, damn. Like I remember he struck out like, I think it was to win the game. It was the top of the order. It was man, these guys are all a bunch of great players, as you know, like Connor Morrow, Sean Riley was on Guelph at the time, and then Pompey. He almost did an immaculate inning, I swear. It was crazy. But he struck out the side and to win the game, and then he did some like, you know how they do that on the mound. And I'm behind there. I'm in the outfield like, damn, like this legit. Let's go. Like, you know, so but now since that time, as you know, like I was a Cardinal for like 2 years, and then, you know, loving my time down there. Like shout out to all the Hamilton guys. Like it's always love for sure. And then, you know, found my way back into Toronto where, you know, I grew up. So, and like I said,
what happened? Did the Leafs reach out to you, or was there like was it like a Salazzo move?
You know what? I was you know what, guys? I was expecting to be a Cardinal for this year, but then but the GM at the time, his name's Eric Spear, and he was telling me how there's been talks because I know how bad they wanted Salazzo, and I guess my name has also came up in those discussions, and he told me, you know, the first time he talked to me, he kind of told me it was like dead in the water, which I did go ahead and re-sign with the Cardinals. And then 5 days after my birthday, which is January 3rd into the new year, I'm about to work with a team. 5 minutes before my session, gives me a call like, hey, Dennis, like, you know, you're going to Toronto, like they've acquired you. And I said, you know, I said what I had to say, and I said, you know, it kind of hit me like, oh wow, like this is real. Like you get traded in this league. It's at the end of the day, it's a business. You know, as much as I love the game, it's a business. You know, like the league's going upward. You know what I'm saying? So this stuff is real. And as soon as I got that call, you know, I reached out to all my close ones, all the Toronto guys that like, you know, I grew up with, like Chiquetto, and you know, they had my back, and they said, yo, it's gonna be a blessing to be here. Like you're playing for home now. Because I grew up, I was a TP kid. I played High Park games at Chrissy Piss. I know what it's like to play there. So it just felt like so real to come home. You know what I mean? So
that's awesome.
Well, you showed up with a bang. We're like, wait, Jonathan Salazzo, who? Like this guy's got no power. Like Dennis Deebo Day.
Nah, shout out
the first home run, and I think the second home run for us.
You know what? I want to say shout out Salazzo. He's one of the names that I've heard a lot since I've came to the league. So just to, I guess, be in those discussions with him, like it's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool feeling. For sure.
Yeah. As much as we razz him, he knows that we love him.
Yeah, man.
Well, going back to like you said, and like Ali was saying, like you had a hell of an OCAA career. I think you were actually mentioning it, Dennis. You know, you guys were champions in 2018 and 2019. You were silver in 2017 and 2021. You know, a bit of a wagon. I know your mom was proud because in 2021 you were the OCAA MVP or Player of the Year. And then I think also in 2022, you're an OCA all academic. So glad that you can hang out with Elliot in Humber. This guy's got the
Brains and
smarts.
Braun, brains and Braun.
Yo, hearing you guys say all academic, that's like crazy. I was never really good at school like that. I guess I just locked in that period of time, you know.
Yeah. I'll shout that
Yo,
out.
that's
But yeah,
cool, man.
going back to maybe I'll just quickly kind of go through, like you said, your career, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
actually,
please
maybe
do, man.
before we get into your career, you need to fill in a gap because correct me if I'm wrong. Before we hopped on this pod, El, you said that Dennis was a kind of a big deal in Istanbul. Can you kind of
No,
break
in
that down?
Hungary,
Or
man. He's playing
Budapest?
in Budapest. Is there a
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hungarian baseball league? You got to break this
Yeah,
down
give
for
us some
us.
Oh,
tea
for
on
sure.
Hungary.
But oh my God, I'll give you some tea for sure.
How'd
You
you
know
end up
what?
there?
How did I get out there? So I'm also shout out another program which is going on since for a while now. It's called the North Travel Collegiate Baseball, I
Cool.
guess team. So I guess hosted by Casey. He's at the time he was like a Miguel coach, pretty big in like the Europe baseball scene. So he brings like collegiate kids from like North America over to Europe for like a couple weeks and kind of tour around different countries because that's how close it is in like Europe. I guess you can just like hop
Yeah.
here, like there, you know what I mean? So that and I got the opportunity through Humber as well. Humber at my last year they were willing to like help me out to do it, make ends meet to get over there. Shout out Matt Ferrer. I don't know if he'll be watching this. I remember he told me I'll get you out there before he got an opportunity for Mohawk College to be their athletic director. But anyways, getting a little sidetracked. So that team. So one of the stops was Finsterball. That was in Austria. So it wasn't in Hungary.
Austria. Yeah.
It was in Austria. So I remember getting there, and it's pretty much like a baseball tournament with like a festival at the same time. You got a bunch of people.
That could be trouble.
You know what, man? Like during the day it's cool, all positive vibes. People are drinking beer, watching baseball. But then when it's nighttime, oh, it's like a concert or something on the baseball field. Like it's different. I remember I'll give you guys a funny story. So I was trying to get, I guess, a drink from the bar there. And obviously, like, there's a lot of people that speak Austrian. I speak English, and I didn't really see a bunch of brothers out there either. So, I'm in line waiting, and this girl and this guy in front of me just kept turning around, like looking at my shirt. I was wearing, you know what I was wearing? I was wearing this. I was wearing like this shirt right here. It's like a
nice,
Michael Jordan,
okay. Yeah.
like Nike.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a bull. You see it?
Yeah.
You're the most organized dresser, by the way. That is
thanks,
You're
man.
color
impressive.
coordinated.
My
Move to
wife-
the side so we
Yeah, I
can
do
take
that. I do
notes.
that. I'm OCD like that. I'm OCD like that. But anyways, like, yeah, so they're looking at my shirt. I'm like, yo, like, you guys know Michael Jordan? Like, da da da. And then she looks at me, gives me like a dirty look, like a stank face. She's like, you don't look like him. I was like, what? I was like, what? I wasn't even trying to say that. I was just trying to like start a conversation or something. And like, but anyways, there a bunch of people just like playing Austrian music,
Wow.
stuff like that, and
Deep
it's a good vibe. It's a
industrial
good vibe
house
for sure.
music into the wee hours of the night.
Yeah, it was quite interesting, man. It was. But the baseball wise, it was also pretty cool. We played like teams like what's that this account that brings baseball players from all over to Europe. It's called Baseball Jobs Overseas. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
Okay.
But they had their own all-star team, which they have like a bunch of guys from different parts of wherever they get their guys from. Like an all-star team which they played our team. And that was the same game where I remember hitting that home run, which felt pretty nice, man. And we came up
like,
short in the
MJ's
tournament.
in the house.
Yeah. You guys are funny, man. But no, we came up short. But the whole overall experience of being in Europe was, especially that tournament, was pretty cool. But then after that, that's when we get to the good part. We went to Budapest after that tournament, and man, Budapest was. I've never seen nothing like that. I never knew life could be like that outside of Toronto, for sure.
Like, just what a crazy adventure, right? Like coming from Finch to Budapest, like
trust me,
baseball, right? Like all through
through baseball, man. Just sticking with it. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Sticking with it. You know what I mean? Just a lot of people said like, "Yo, Dennis, like, they never expected me to like keep playing." And I was. And here I am today on the Toronto Maple Leafs, which
there you go, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
It's led you to being on Bushbanter, and that's the highest honor a baseball player can
Oh,
have.
100%. Shout out you guys. You know
Yeah,
what's crazy?
he's
You know
like
what's
growing
crazy?
up, man. Like I never
Yeah.
imagined I'd be up in Fort Mac, like shooting guns with these little kids, or in a club in Austria, or like maybe on Bush Banter. Like dreams do come
Yeah.
true.
Nah, for real though. But I remember you guys, the first interaction with you guys. I remember I was on Welland. At the time, being in the first year in the league, it's tough to get playing time and stuff. So when I was on Welland, I remember they played me in Toronto. I'm like, okay, like it's my home, low key. Like I'm gonna try to go crazy. I remember getting on base that game, and then I'm like, I remember Mara was catching. Obviously, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna run on Mara right now. So I ran on him, and he threw my ass out, and then
Oh,
I remember arguing with the umpire, and I hear you guys on the hill. I'm like, yo, who are these guys? Like, but nah, I've seen since then. I've seen what you guys done. With the support for the Leafs, and I got nothing but respect for you guys for sure.
Thanks,
amazing,
Yeah,
Doug.
amazing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're like, how do they know my name, birthday, and
All
like?
that stuff. I'm like, what?
We used to go on like guys' LinkedIn profiles and find out like what job they had.
Oh, you guys go that deep.
Oh, we
Oh
go
yeah.
deep. We got sources everywhere.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's amazing. But yeah, maybe we'll quickly just kind of riff through like your IBL career,
yeah.
obviously.
Please, man. Ask me whatever, whatever.
So why don't you back it up to join the league with Welland in 2021? So, how did you kind of get approached by Welland? How did that all kind of come together?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Also,
yeah.
gee, just to quickly jump in, there was obviously like a break in there with COVID and stuff, right? Like,
Oh, for
Right.
sure. You know
Oh
what?
yeah,
Now that
that
we're
thing,
we're
right?
getting yeah, yeah. Now that we're getting deep into it, I also want to put another name out there for sure. And he's my guy. That's all I can say. Like it's obviously you guys know Marcus Connect, man. Shout
Oh
out
Oh
yeah.
MK.
yeah.
Shout out MK, you know what I
Come on.
mean? I met him. So I met Marcus because Marcus used to be around Bond Park. I don't know if you guys know Bond Park. It's like a park in North York where the North York Blues play baseball. Like
Okay.
those are their ends. As I
Yeah.
can
yeah,
say, that's their area, right? So I always see Marcus there, and
just
we met.
solo in the park running a hill with tires behind him or
You know
something.
what? As much of a grinder he is, I didn't catch him doing that, but he was actually doing lessons with kids and stuff like that. But
Nice.
then he got to know me, and he set up a session with me, and he's helped me a lot, man. He's helped me with like my swing and also like the mental side of the game. Introducing me to guys like Doug McKean, which is also his hitting coach, his mental coach, all that stuff like that. And then I remember seeing this ad. This is before I was into the league, because that year during COVID, I was supposed to go to Fort McMurray, but I think this COVID was still going on, and they had selected teams still. I guess no, my team folded. The Giants folded that year, so I'm like, yo, what am I gonna do? I guess I'm just gonna keep training, stuff like that. So Marcus. So yeah, so I saw that ad for the Welland Jackfish. They were hosting a home run derby, and I'm like, yo, I showed Marcus. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go to this. Like, I'm gonna put my name out there. Just like go. So I remember I went down there and I asked him. I said, hey Marcus, yo, can you throw BP for me for this derby?
Nice.
And then he's like, yo, for sure, no problem. So he went out there and threw me BP. Ended up going to the finals. I should
No
have won,
way.
but it's all right. Yeah, I was facing this big dude, man, this grown ass man, like. Oh, I don't even know I think his name was Tom something, like a Niagara dude. He was hitting nukes, like pure man strength.
So
But
where's
there
that
was
sweet
like there's
spot for
like
you?
yo, yeah, there's like
Where's
10
that sweet
guys.
spot for you that neck he was feeding? Is it like kind of high inside,
It
belt
was
high? Like what do you
yeah,
do?
yeah, it was like high inside, and I was just
Oh, okay.
pulling it, hitting it over the pond. You know what I'm saying? I was doing that at the time, and then the coaches were like, yo, like, what's good? Like, do you want to play here? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, so we so
They're
so
like,
we
who
kept
are you? This guy.
yeah, so we kept in touch, and that first year where the IBL started again, his name is Brian Nezeri. He reached out to me, and then we made it work. And I always give Welland some credit, especially the coaching staff and stuff like that for also being a part of my journey. Giving me a shot, giving me opportunity to play with them. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool, man. Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
no doubt. Yeah, so 2012, 2021, like you said, you played in, like half the year basically.
Yeah,
Wait, actually, I
Like
got to follow up on Welland.
okay.
So there
yeah.
was the guy we kept, one of our first targets ever on Welland was the not so great Dane. I can't remember what his last
Dane
name was.
Toughlin.
Toughlin.
Yeah, Dane Toughlin.
I heard you guys started calling him not so great Dane in the locker room.
Yeah, yeah, because man, he was just a good ball player, man. He was
Yeah.
just like,
I know.
He was
Yeah.
a fun dude. I liked him, but yeah, it's
yeah,
just jokes that our heckle became his nickname.
yeah,
No one's
he's a
safe.
baller. You know, I don't even know where he is today, but man, I hope he's
I
doing
think he
good.
played in the Czech league for like a season and a half or something. That we were looking it up
Idiot.
and we were talking about him. He had some crazy, weird, like European league he played in.
Interesting.
So,
Regardless, that guy's
so
a baller.
yeah,
Regardless.
so then you 2022, 2023 and 2024 were really kind of your breakout years in Hamilton, right? You played full
Yeah,
seasons there, 42 games played, 41 games played,
yeah, yeah,
productive, productive from the batting, standpoint, high 280s, kind of average, getting doubles, getting home runs, lots of RBIs, 25 and 21 RBIs in a 42 game season. Like that's some productive years.
yeah.
And then, obviously the approach to the Leafs. So maybe we'd love to like hear from you. What do you think of the team? Obviously
Yo,
D
I can see a
Rich,
lot.
that's an intimidating guy on the mound. I can only imagine him as a GM. You trying to sign that contract, just takes his hand, signs it for you. But what do you
Man,
think of the boys? You're familiar with some of them, obviously. Necty's a
oh, for sure.
legend here. Justin Marr's a legend. But what do you think of the
Marvelous, yeah.
Leafs coming home?
Man, I can say a lot about the team. First and foremost, like all the guys on the team are great, man. Come from the imports to the guys, to the veterans, to the new guys. Like we all gel, man. We all gel really well, and we all, trust each other. If one guy doesn't get it done, we trust each other. Trust the next guy to get it done. You know what I mean? And the vibes are always high on the team, win or lose. I'm so thankful to just play behind guys like, the guys that we mentioned, you know, pro guys too, like Connect, Mara, Castaldo, like, damn,
Yeah.
Triple Crown guy, like,
Yeah.
I remember seeing bro's name in the freaking IBL history book. Like, what?
Yeah, I know.
So it's like sometimes it's been a little rough stretch for the past 2 weeks. Just I gotta be honest, like putting some pressure on myself, coming home and this and that. But I had to take a moment and take a step back, like where I'm at right now. Like the,
Absolutely.
the guys, the guys on the roster, like there's some ballers on this team. You know what I'm trying to say? So
Yeah.
it's like I don't gotta do too much, man. Just do what I can, let the trust in the next guy, and then like you seen how we've been rolling,
Oh
the
yeah.
past couple weeks, so I
Never
just gotta
out.
take a
Never
step
out of a
back. And,
game.
yeah, yeah, never out, man, never out. So you can never count the Leafs out. I remember when I was on the Cardinals, Ryan Dos Santos hitting me up in my DMs telling me, "Yo, don't count us out" and stuff like that, And now, and yo,
Mid-game?
no, this was after the game. I remember I posted like the box score on my story about like a game that we won in Hamilton.
Yeah.
And then Ryan was like, "Yo, don't count us out." And I'm like, now being on the Leafs, like I understand why he said that to me, So
Legit.
Well, like I said, if you ever feeling tight at the plate, you ever feel like you're putting too much pressure on yourself, you can just knock all that off, dog. The bush is
for
behind you
sure.
110%, man. Win
Nah,
or lose, we got you, dog.
And we'll
appreciate
do
you,
our
bro.
part to
Appreciate you,
chirp
all
the
you
hell
guys.
out of the pitcher who you're up against. Like he's in more
Exactly.
trouble than you are at the plate. So.
I don't know. You know what? It's funny how you say that. I remember I got pinch hit in against Brantford, and then man, it was hard. I was trying to lock in for that bat, which I always am. I'm always trying to lock in, but I remember just hearing you guys. I don't know if it was you guys or like a next person on the hill talking about that pitcher, Aiden, like telling them to like go back to Waterloo. I don't even know, like getting in his head or whatever. Just talking about his girlfriend or something like that. But then I remember whatever, like tipped my cat off. He struck me out, and then he was like, he was cursing, and I'm like, damn, you guys really be getting in these guys' heads. And
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you saw.
We know when they start to crack.
What was
Yeah.
the guy on Guelph, Uhara or whatever it was that we like heckled him? He got pulled from the game and he had to do that long
Oh
walk
yeah.
all the way around with
Against-
Oh
the
no
Guelph.
way! Was I on the
Yeah.
team during this time or not? This
This was our win against Guelph.
On Friday night. Yeah.
Friday
Oh
night.
yeah. I do remember.
The walk of
Yeah.
shame. You had to
The
walk.
walk of shame
That
for
was
real.
Dean's in the first inning, and then I can't remember the second guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Well,
guys.
this is awesome, man. Like, first of all, Dennis, like,
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
said, you'd be proud of, the journey you've had, man. Like, it's like not many people could say they were able to pursue their dreams like you, man. And like, you just kept your
Yeah,
head down.
man.
Obviously, not everyone's fed with the silver spoon, man. You just kept grinding. Like, that's like inspirational for sure for anyone out there. And
Yeah,
it's amazing
man.
that you had some mentors like, that you came across. And like, shout out Necty for still working with kids because there's another Deebo coming up. Like he'll be
Yo,
able to
wherever he
kind
is
of
out there, yes, sir. Yeah.
he'll be able to help you. But maybe just the outlook for the year ahead. Like, what are you thinking about the team this year? Like, we taking that chip or what?
You know what, man? I had so many conversations about this with the guys in my circle, Chiquetto, like anyone, Marcus, like, yo, I feel something different about this team. Like, we're gonna, we're gonna win it all, man. We're gonna win it. You
Yes,
know what? Yo, I'm gonna call it right now.
it's
Honest,
heard it right here.
yo, rep that jersey. I'm gonna call it right now.
Buff this up.
Us and Welland in the finals.
I think so.
I'm taking
That's
the
what I'm
fish.
smelling
I
too.
like
That's
it.
what I'm smelling too.
Taking the fish. Easy
Yeah.
win last week, but whatever. Well, we're coming for you. So I don't know, boys. Do you have anything else to say? Like, Dennis.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, like, what do you think of the Bush getting the Bushman support this year? Like, I don't know. Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah. Like I said, like I respect what you guys are doing. Like you guys are a huge part of the Leafs, in my opinion. You know what I'm trying to say? I hear you guys' names everywhere when it comes to the Toronto Maple Leafs. So like keep doing what you're doing, like, and like all that stuff we say you got my back, I appreciate that as well. Cause I'm gonna need your guys' support too, I'm gonna need you guys' support.
100%.
And I just want to shout out just one thing. One of my coaches told me, like, give me a call like last week. Saw how I've been lately. It's kind of telling me like, yo, Dennis, bro, like, let everything go. Like, think of it, man. Everything you have to do in your life, you have to work for it. So it's like, when it comes to like, there's no Dennis the Banning pretty much without adversity. So
For
I'm just
sure.
gonna just hold that to my chest and keep pushing, trusting the process, trusting the routine, trust the work.
Dude, look where it's gotten you now, man. Everything you got, you earned, but you got
Yeah.
unconditional support from the boys. We're
No
here
doubt.
for you, no
You already
matter
know.
what.
That's
You
the
already know,
thing. That's
man.
the thing too. Like every at bat, we're gonna be with you. We're gonna be with the team. We never leave early. Doesn't matter if we're down 20
I see you
runs.
guys.
We're gonna
Yeah.
stick through to the end.
I see you
know
guys.
our lead is safe. We love the team. We love all of you guys, and it's just I love having a story like that and a player like you on our team. It's big. It's big. It's the pieces that we need to take us to that next level that we've been waiting for years.
That means a lot to hear, guys. That really does, man.
No doubt.
Hell yeah.
No doubt.
Really
Pressure
does,
makes
man.
diamonds, man. You know what I mean?
Pressure
Let's
makes
go.
diamonds. Diamonds come from the dirt. You already
There
know.
you go. From the dirt. There you go. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Started
There
from
is
the
no
bottom, now he's here.
grittier dirt than that crispy Pitts diamond. So
A dirty diamond. A dirty
Holy
diamond.
smokes. You guys are hilarious, man.
I love
Holy.
it. Well, maybe
Yeah.
we'll wrap up on that note. Like we said, Deebo, welcome home. It's a pleasure for you to be on the team. You came out the gate hot. We know that bat's coming back alive. We know you'll be back in the mix. We know the Leafs will keep rolling this year. We've been loving this. Thank you for your time. We're looking forward to keeping this rolling. And I don't know, boys, go Leafs, go. You heard it here
Leafs
first.
go, man.
Leafs go.
Big game
We
tomorrow
taking
night versus
it.
the Sox.
Yeah.
Let's get back on the W column.
Let's
go.
do it, man. Let's do it. Go Leafs, go. You already
Go
know.
Leafs, go.
Oh.
Go Leafs, go, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all.
Absolutely, Dennis, man. Take
Yes,
care.
sir. Take care.